My dad scheduled my physical for high school enrollment during the blood draw. I overheard the nurse confirm, "Is this the blood sample for the bone marrow typing?" I froze. There was nothing about that on my medical form and typing. Who needed a match? The lab request slip fluttered from her hand. As she bent to pick it up, a few lines of text burned into my vision. Patient, Faye, diagnosis, acute, lymphoblastic leukemia, guardian's signature, Richard Walker. I snatched the paper and checked again. It was unmistakably the handwriting of my father, Richard Walker. Who was Faye, and why was my dad her legal guardian? I immediately dialed his number. "Dad, why does a physical require a bone marrow test?" There was a pause on the line, a flicker of panic in his voice. The hospital must have made a mistake, but hey, an extra test or two can't hurt, right? I forced a laugh and said okay. After hanging up, I went straight to the hospital room listed on the form. Walking into the room, I saw the girl lying in the bed. Her face was ashen, her body frail, her features, especially around her eyes and brow, were a near-perfect mirror of my dad's. A cold weight settled in my stomach. My fists clenched as I approached her. "Are you Faye?" She blinked, looking up at me. But before she could speak, a woman's voice came from behind. I turned, it was her mother. She looked to be in her mid-30s, still young, dressed simply. She had the air of a gentle, domestic woman. But now, she looked frantic. Her face was pale, her hands trembling slightly. "You must be one of Faye's classmates?" she asked, her voice urgent and shaky as she rushed forward to grab my arm. "She needs to rest. Could you come outside for a moment? I need to talk to you." I didn't resist, letting her lead me out of the room. In the hallway, she let out a visible sigh of relief, then hesitated before speaking. "You are." I held up the lab form, cutting straight to the point. "Why is my father's name signed as your daughter's guardian?" I demanded. "Ma'am, what, exactly, is your relationship with my dad?" The hospital corridor was busy with people coming and going, some of whom seemed to know her. She clearly hadn't expected me to be so direct. Her panic intensified, though she forced a smile for an acquaintance passing by. Then she turned back to me, her own smile strained. "Oh, that signature. My daughter is sick, and a charity foundation is helping with the costs. The person in charge was there when we were handling the payment, so he just signed it for us. My daughter's last name is also Walker. It's just a coincidence. Please don't overthink it." Her words were placating, meant to deflect. But as her eyes fell on me, I saw a flicker of something else, something malicious and possessive. I met her gaze and held it. She looked away, unnerved, and unconsciously ran a hand through her hair. That's when I saw it, the diamond ring on her finger. It was familiar. A designer piece, from my mother's favorite designer. He had been out of the industry for years but recently released a new collection that everyone was talking about. It just so happened to launch around my parents' wedding anniversary. I'd secretly reminded my dad about it, suggesting he could get that specific ring as a gift for Mom. He promised he would, telling me to keep it a secret that he wanted to surprise her. But on their anniversary, what he presented was a common, off-the-shelf piece from a department store. It wasn't even real diamonds, just zirconia. He claimed that a time zone difference during an international conference call had made him miss the limited edition drop. He said he'd have someone contact the designer for a custom piece later to make up for it. So, he hadn't missed it. He'd bought it, he'd just given it to another woman, and fobbed my mother off with a cheap imitation. I bit down hard, suppressing the rage that was boiling up inside me. Staring at the woman's awkward expression, I smiled, but it didn't reach my eyes. "That's a beautiful ring, ma'am. It's the limited edition piece, isn't it?" My mother waited forever for it, but she couldn't get one. She must not have expected a kid to recognize it. She froze, her face twisting into an ugly grimace. She quickly tried to hide the ring with her hair, stammering out a defense. "What designer? I wouldn't know about things like that. My daughter just picked it up for me. It's nothing expensive. I have to get back to my daughter now," she said abruptly. "Oh, and please don't mention any of this to anyone. We wouldn't want your family to get